My name is Natalie, and I'm 28 years old. I work as a freelancer now, but I met my husband while I was still working at a company. He fell in love with me the first time he saw me, mostly because of our business relationship. He once told me, "I like your face." I felt flattered by that, so I accepted his offer to go out with him. That's how our relationship started. When we were dating, my husband was very kind and always tried to make me happy. Just before we got married, I quit my job. I had been working at the company for a long time and wanted to try freelancing, which I had always dreamed of doing. Later, I found out that freelancers can be just as busy as anyone else. I thought freelancing from home would be perfect because I could stay close to my child when he or she was born. But my mother-in-law didn't like the idea. She often complained that I didn't work outside the home. Every time we visited my in-laws, she would ignore me. My father-in-law, Alex, was different. He supported me. He told me, "It takes skill to make money from home. Natalie must be very talented. After all, she graduated from a good university and worked for a big company." But my mother-in-law didn't see it that way. She thought it was lazy for me to stay at home while she was still working part-time. She wasn't happy when Alex praised me. She scowled, and my husband, who was standing next to her, was busy playing a game on his smartphone and didn't seem to care. In a sweet voice, my mother-in-law asked my husband, "Derek, why did you marry someone lazy like Natalie?" He replied, "Well, I like her face, and she's good at doing housework." She wasn't impressed. "I don't think she's that beautiful," she said. Derek shrugged. "I thought I'd have to settle for someone unattractive because no one would ever look at me that way." My mother-in-law responded, "Oh, Derek, you could have married a super beautiful woman. My name is Natalie, and I'm 28 years old. I work as a freelancer now, but I met my husband when I was still working at my old company. He fell in love with me at first sight because of our work relationship. He told me, 'I like your face.' I was flattered, so I agreed to go out with him. That's how we started our relationship. When we were dating, he was very kind and always tried to make me happy. Right before we got married, I decided to quit my job. I had worked in the company for a long time and always wanted to try freelancing, but I soon realized that freelancers can be just as busy. I thought working from home would be easier for me, especially when we had a child, because I could take care of the baby and work at the same time. However, my mother-in-law didn't like the idea. She often complained that I didn't work outside the house. Every time I visited her, she would ignore me. On the other hand, my father-in-law, Alex, was supportive. He said, "It takes a lot of skill to make money from home. Natalie must be very talented. She graduated from a good university and worked for a big company." But my mother-in-law disagreed. She thought I was lazy for staying at home while she still worked part-time. When my father-in-law praised me, she got upset. She scowled, and my husband didn't seem to notice. He was too busy playing a game on his phone. Then, in a sweet, almost childish voice, my mother-in-law asked my husband, "Derek, why did you marry someone lazy like Natalie?" He replied, "Well, I like her face, and she's good at doing housework." She wasn't impressed. "I don't think she's that beautiful," she said. Derek shrugged and said, "I thought I'd have to settle for someone less attractive because no one else would look at me like that." His mother responded, "Oh, Derek, you could have married a really beautiful woman." One slow day at work, I decided to go to City Hall and get divorce papers. As soon as I got home, I filled out my part and called my parents. They were furious when they heard about the things my husband and mother-in-law had said about me. "We didn't let you marry him to be treated like this," they said angrily. When my husband came home from work, I showed him the divorce papers and told him to fill them out quickly. I wanted a divorce right away. He was shocked. "What are you doing? "Why are you acting like this? Are you being hysterical?" he asked. I told him, "I don't know why I'm still with you." He tried to defend himself. "I care about you. All I ever think about is you, Natalie." But I just replied, "You're lying," because I had recently found out that he was cheating on me. One day, I was brushing my teeth and saw that he had left his phone in the dressing room. I didn't mean to snoop, but I accidentally saw a message. It said, "I want to make out with you again. Your kiss was so good. It made me feel like a god." Honestly, I was disgusted by the message. I didn't want to be caught snooping, so I took a picture of it and sent it to my phone. Then, I hired a private investigator to check on his behavior. It turned out that my husband was seeing a young woman from his work, and it wasn't just one woman. He was involved with several girls. He had a type, under 30, tall, and pretty. I was furious, but I knew if I gave him the divorce papers now, he would just ignore them. So, I decided to go back to my parents' house to get help with the divorce. One Saturday, my husband suggested we visit his parents again. I didn't want to go because my mother-in-law always ignored me. But he said, "My mom wants us to come over today." "Oh really? Well, don't be like that. Just get ready," my husband said. I sighed. I love getting ready just to be ignored. "No one's ignoring you. It's all in your head," he replied. "At least I have your dad to talk to. He's very kind." He seemed offended. "What? That makes it sound like you're saying my mom's a bad person." "I'm sorry, but that's how I feel," I said. I remembered that my father-in-law had recently shown interest in blogging, so I brought my laptop with me. He's not even 60, but he doesn't really know how to set up a blog yet. I thought maybe I could do my work and also teach him a bit about blogging. When we arrived at my in-law's house, my mother-in-law greeted my husband with a hug and offered him tea. But, of course, she didn't offer me any. I laughed quietly to myself, knowing how much she clearly disliked me. As I sat down, my father-in-law seemed excited. "Wow, so this is how you make a blog?" he asked. "Yes, it's easier than you think," I replied. "I thought it would be harder. Is tagging very difficult?" "It's easy once you get the hang of it," I assured him. "Oh, Natalie, I'm sorry for asking you about your blog when you have work to do." "No, it's fine," I said. He got his laptop and started setting up his blog. As I worked, my mother-in-law gave me a sideways look and said, "I could do that kind of thing myself. It's just simple typing." That was clearly sarcasm. When I responded, she ignored me again, so I said sarcastically, "No need to be rude." After that, my husband kept insisting that we go to his parents' house more often, but I really didn't want to go. One day, he said, "It's my mother's birthday today." "Oh, yeah," I replied, not thrilled. "What's wrong with you? Let's go." "I'm not going," I told him. "What?" I said, "I'm not going. Your dad is nice, but I don't want your mom to keep being sarcastic or ignoring me." He got upset. "What the hell is wrong with you? You're really losing it." "You're the one who's crazy," I shot back. "What's wrong with you? You're such a lousy husband." He suddenly got really angry and stormed out of the house, heading to his parents' place. As soon as he left, I quickly packed my things into an overnight bag. My husband had always stopped me from going back to my parents' house before, but this time I knew it was my chance to leave. Does my husband even care about me, or is he just afraid to get divorced because it would bring shame to his family? Maybe he feels guilty about the affair. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to get a big alimony payment out of him. When I got back to my parents' house, they told me they would never let me see my in-laws again. When I told them that my husband had been cheating on me, they were furious. Their faces turned red. and they cursed, saying, "I can't believe he's such a lousy man." A little while later, my husband called me. "Hey, where are you? Why is your stuff missing?" I calmly replied, "I'm not coming back. I'm at my parents' house." "What? What are you talking about? Are you stupid for going back to your parents?" "No, you're the one who's stupid. Not only do you look down on me, but you're cheating on me too." He sounded defensive. "Well, you thought you were a good kisser, huh? I had to pretend all these years, but from the first time I kissed you, I thought you were terrible." He seemed shocked. "Why would you say that?" "I don't care anymore. It's disgusting. I'm divorcing you." He panicked. "Wait, if you divorce me, you'll ruin my reputation." "You're so full of yourself," I said and hung up. A few hours later, my husband showed up at my parents' house with his parents. My mother-in-law looked like she was about to say something, but before she could, my father-in-law, Alex, spoke up. He turned to my father and said, "Sir, I'm really sorry for everything we've done. I wish I could have done more to help Natalie." My father, already angry, shouted, "Hey, who do you think you are? I can't believe how stupid your wife and son have been." Alex just responded, "Stop it." Actually, my father-in-law, Alex, had also been wanting a divorce from his wife, and my decision gave him the push he needed. "What?" I was shocked. He then revealed that his wife, my mother-in-law, had been having an affair with the manager of the store where she worked part-time. Alex had found out about it recently and had been waiting for the right moment to divorce her. When my mother-in-law heard this, she started crying and begged me not to divorce her son. But soon, both she and my husband lost their tempers, completely stunned. My parents were just as shocked. After that, my husband and I divorced. Soon after, Alex divorced my mother-in-law as well. Both my ex-husband and my mother-in-law had been unfaithful, so they were charged a large amount of alimony. Now, my mother-in-law is working several part-time jobs, just like when she was younger, to pay off her alimony. My ex-husband quit his job and is currently looking for work. They are living together in a small studio apartment, and honestly, they seem like a perfect match for each other. As for me, I'm staying at my parents' house while searching for a new place to live. I'm hopeful that I'll find true love someday and maybe even get married again.